Warning: the opinions expressed in this video do not represent YouTube associations, agencies, nor any particular individuals. They are merely from three guys trying to pass the boredom of everyday life. Some explicit content may occur in this or future presentations. Viewer discretion may be advised, but ignored if you're into that thing.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Wildman Wes.
I'm the Big Bad Wolf Benny.
And I'm DJC.
And welcome to our first episode of Season 3 on the Wild Wolf Show. Man, it's going to be awesome nowadays. We have another member, as you've seen DJC before.
Thanks for having me.
No problem, and thank you for joining our team. Well, we decided we are going to start off Season 3 with a good one. And as if maybe you can see from all of our shirts,
I don't know if you noticed that, but
we're more than meets the eye today, folks. And like some of our more recent episodes that we've done, we've kind of swayed away from top tens because we know a lot of people do that, and we know that it may seem like we might be stealing things from people, and chances are we've been feeling like people have been stealing things from us, so we want to actually kind of be ourselves a little bit more and, you know, kind of not ruin our, how do I put it, mojo.
bro,
Whoa.
you can't say that.
Why not? I didn't start a war, but I can sure as hell finish it.
Well, you guys better watch out, I guess.
I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. But today we are going to be doing a review on the 1986 animated classic, Transformers the Movie. Now, Benny and I have done a lot of the, recaps of the films in the last Lord knows how many episodes. But
A lot.
DJC here is
We're
the
breaking his
OG
cherry.
fan of Transformers, and we figure we're going to break him in today. Let's give DJC his due and give a little rundown of Transformers the Movie.
Well, like you said, it's from 1986. So the soundtrack of the movie is obviously a lot of rock-inspired, which is a little bit different from what the cartoon series was because, well, they didn't have that. But the movie itself, like I've said in my toy chest, that will be coming up on here too soon. The movie itself, it has well, let's display the case here. Came out after season 2 of the series. So, like I said before, there was a bridge in between the movie and the cartoon series, which was called Scramble City. So, obviously, they, wanted to introduce some new people or some new characters. And so they did so with coming out with the movie. So we got to see a lot of old characters and a lot of new characters in the movie. Well, in the first, 20 minutes of the movie, you see most of the old characters, and then you kind of start seeing the new ones. So that's started happening in the movie. So we get to see the beginning of the movie is Unicron coming in, and Unicron is this big, huge planet that starts eating planets. So that's what you get to see. You get to see this planet that has these other robots that are on it, and it starts to getting devoured and eaten up. And then it kind of flashes away from that, and then comes the beginning credits of the movie. So you got to see all the new voice actors that were brought in, such as Judd Nelson, Leonard Nimoy, and Orson Welles, who
playing
was
Unicron.
the voice of Unicron.
His last
So-
performance
last
ever.
performance.
Performance, which it's been said that he didn't get to finish actually all his scenes or all his voice scenes. So there is some parts in there that were added in. But yeah, so they introduced all these new voice characters, but we do get to see all the old voice characters from the cartoon show come back.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, such as Peter Cullen and Frank Weller.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, so we get to see all the old characters, and they start going into how life is in 2005, which is obviously definitely not how life was in 2005.
Yeah. Last
We didn't have no
time-
damn robots. I
Yeah.
can tell you that.
No robots. And,
We've got androids though, but that's about as good as we can get.
yeah, and what's kind of funny about that is when you kind of think back on it, you still have Blaster and Soundwave in there, and they're cassette players. So 2005, cassette players are still around.
When's the last time any of us made a mixtape?
Yeah.
Rebel.
That was like in the 90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get to see these characters. You get Laserbeak, who goes and spies on the Autobots, and he reports back to Megatron to tell them, they're planning on leaving and going to Earth, where we have a base on Earth. So you see Megatron talking about, okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take over this ship. So then that's when you see them all show up and start killing mostly all of the original Transformers.
This is what differentiates it from the TV show, too, is you actually see characters dying. It's not the classic, beat them up. No, characters die. Like, we lose Ironhide, Ratchet right away, like in the first 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. So it's different. It's telling you right away from the beginning, it's not going to be like the TV show 100%.
Right.
And that's cool. We wanted a little bit more, mature text, and we got it.
Yeah, and so they do show up, obviously, and Hot Rod, who's being introduced, notices, actually Daniel notices that, there's a hole in the ship. So Hot Rod starts shooting at them and freaks out the other people that are there, or the other Autobots that are there watching, and like, what is he doing, because he's this young Autobot. So, they soon all notice that there's Decepticons on there. So then that's when this huge battle starts to happen. And then, like I said, they start introducing some more of the new characters, such as Springer and Ultra Magnus. So they now want to transform Autobot City because they know they're under attack. So Megatron, Starscream, all of them start coming down and attacking the city. So you see all that stuff start going on, and then you get Blaster, who transforms and it's like, all right, I got to send out a signal to Optimus Prime. So then that's when you see one of the more iconic scenes when you finally get to see Blaster and Soundwave go at it with their tapes. So that was awesome.
So big battle, Autobots versus Decepticons. Decepticons are pretty much beating the out of the Autobots. Luckily, Optimus Prime comes and changes the tide because, well, he's the hero and the leader of the Autobots. Unfortunately, though, he gets critically wounded by Megatron, and
yes,
it doesn't make it, guys. Oh, sorry, guys. It was a big heartbreak back in the day when that happened. But anyway, he passes the Matrix of Leadership onto Ultra Magnus. Problem is, he drops it. Hot Rod touches it. You hear the opening of He's Got the Touch, and then it ends, and then he gives it to Ultra Magnus. So now, anyways, they have to go and try to save everybody on Cybertron. So they're going. They have some crazy adventures. They head to all these other planets. They go to the junk planet. They make friends. They go to another planet. They make enemies. Pretty much the whole movie, guys. I'm trying to simplify it for you here. Of course, they go and they fight Unicron, and it's a losing battle until Hot Rod learns that he's actually the new leader of the Autobots, opens, Matrix of Leadership, and destroys Unicron.
And becomes a new character,
Rodimus
Prime.
There's some other stuff that happens, like Megatron becomes Galvatron. Go watch the movie.
Yeah.
Go watch the movie.
We're sure most of you have already seen this. If not, this is the 1986. Yeah. Go to your local video store and find it.
To make it simple, guys, if you're a Transformers fan, you've seen it. If you're trying to get into it, but you couldn't get into it because of Michael Bay, go see it because this is when Transformers was good.
Yeah.
I did it, Michael Bay. You know where I live. Come at me, bro. But
yeah.
anyways, Anything else we want to add to the story before we jump in what we liked and what we didn't like?
Not that I could think of.
You good, DJC?
Well, something I didn't like was that they didn't use all 5 Dinobots when they fought
It's true.
Yeah.
Devastator.
See that?
Yeah, there was only 4 of them. So, yeah.
Well, quick, real fast. Who's your favorite Dinobot? Grimlock, obviously, right? Me Grimlock, me King.
Yeah, Grimlock.
I love Grimlock. He's the best.
Me say you're full of beryllium baloney!
Swoop.
Yep.
They're all funny because they're all kind of dumb. That's why they're funny. But Grimlock was cool because didn't they start off as enemies of the Autobots and then they became Autobots?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
You know, they were made by Wheeljack with little brains, and so that's how it all started. And they actually were put on Dinobot Island because they didn't want to deal with them anymore.
Yeah, it's basically like Transformers Island of Misfit Toys.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I really like the soundtrack. I mean, we gotta talk about the soundtrack.
Yeah.
You touched on it. I mean, you start off after, we see the planet being destroyed by Unicron, and then you go into the classic theme song of the Transformers, but it's been updated to a rock version. And my God.
Lion.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God,
Dude.
it's amazing. Let's go this way, guys. I have the Transformers soundtrack
Me
on my
too.
phone.
Well, I've got it on CD.
Well, there you go, buddy. I have it on my
I have
phone
it on
right
my
now. And I mean, it's just awesome.
I'm
There's
just,
two different.
I'm just not up to speed
I'm
with you
sorry,
guys on the
buddy.
phone, but
There's 2 versions on the
Oh, we got so
soundtrack
much
too.
memory.
There's the one that's the classical one that's just amazing. Then they do have an alternate one where they do put in like robotic voices to make it more, robotic. And it was cool too, but I think the original one's the best, like the updated version. And then you got Stan Bush in there.
Who's been in every 80s movie. I mean, come on, the Rocky 4.
Bloodsport.
Oh,
I mean,
jeez.
the list goes on.
Yeah.
There's so many good songs in there.
I mean, his songs were so good that even Mark Wahlberg, of all people, sang the Tushin' Boogie Nights.
Yes.
Not that great, but still, I think he did it on purpose because, come on.
Yeah.
But anyways, besides that, I mean, the story's great. Like I said, it really threw a twist in with, killing off Optimus Prime. So nobody saw that coming. Fun little anecdote, too. Wes actually told me this when they did the G.I. Joe movie. When Duke almost died, they couldn't do it just because they broke
So many
the reactions,
kids
yeah.
from 1986
Were
had
heartbroken.
nightmares, locking themselves in their closets because of the fact that their biggest hero had died.
Yes.
I mean, for me,
I think cartoon-wise, comics, cartoon-wise, biggest deaths, Optimus Prime was probably the biggest of the 80s, and then you go to the 90s, and then the only thing that beat that was Superman's death.
Well, yeah, and in real-life situations, I mean, for me personally, in a real-life situation with a real death, Andre the Giant's death, for me, at 9 years old, I thought that there was no God at that point. But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
People, die. It is what it is.
Well, we did get some retribution from that because in Season 3, there was an episode where Optimus Prime gets actually kind of brought back, but he's like a zombie.
It kind of sounds like the Justice League movie that just came out recently with Superman, but then he gets snapped out of it. But.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that didn't happen with Optimus Prime until Season 4. So they did bring him back, and they wanted him to take over because of the whole Spore situation that was going on. So, yeah.
Anything else we like about this movie, guys? I think we touched on a lot of it.
DJC talked about a little bit of voice cast at the beginning of this
beautiful. It's
episode.
beautiful.
Judd Nelson as Hot Rod, amazing. He had just been fresh right off the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy as Galvatron, taking over Frank Welker's Megatron. Leonard Nimoy at the time, with science fiction alone, being Spock, phenomenal.
Gold. He was gold. He was royalty.
Little fun tidbit, Susan Blue, who plays RC, was Tina's mother in Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. And she was also in a lot of Hanna-Barbera cartoons. 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo is Flim Flam. That's one that I can think of off the bat. Star Fairies from Hanna-Barbera. She's done it all. And she's still swinging.
She's still going strong, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, we talked about Mr. Peter Cullen. He's the OG. Always will be.
He's the only Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Other than that,
again, Orson Welles.
Welles.
What can we say about this guy? He's amazing.
It is
great,
sad that
legendary.
it was his last performance, and you had told me the other day that Leonard Nimoy kind of stepped in at times, I think.
Yeah.
Like for the retakes. But one character that shines for me, and he's actually kind of put at the top billing at the credits, is Eric Idle from Monty Python.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
with the Junkticons, man.
He was Rekgar.
He was Rekgar, yep.
Yeah,
and he had such a great performance. And,
He did.
And, and we were talking about the soundtrack. I mean, just because of how outlandish they are.
Yeah.
They get a Weird Al
Yeah, they get a
song.
Weird Al song, Dare to Be Stupid. I mean, it fits so perfectly.
It really does. I mean, I love the little dancing scene where they're all dancing together on the planet.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. I think all of us can agree. Any nerd that might be at a bar someday and we're drunk and we may not see eye to eye, all we have to do is look them straight in the eye and say, "Ba wheat gra not wheat ninny bong," and I think we'll all just get along.
Yes.
I mean,
But yeah,
anything else we dislike? I mean,
I don't like, on a review standpoint, people getting off about the fact that Spike said it's a PG movie, and in the 80s, they got away
They
with
were a little more lax.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's put it this way. Mel Brooks' Spaceballs was rated PG, and Rick Moranis says
Yeah,
in the movie.
he does.
I mean, seriously.
I think maybe they say because it has come from a kid, but like the scene that it happened, it's acceptable if that was going down. I would probably say a lot worse than.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, other than that, I don't like about it.
I don't really have anything I don't like about it.
I mean, I love it. It's always, I can watch this any day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just,
it moves pretty good. It's only like what, an hour and 25 minutes,
give or take.
Yeah.
something like that. So I mean, it's not a long movie. Like I said, I mean, the soundtrack alone, you guys just like all the songs are perfectly fit. Like when they come on in the movie,
Yeah.
and it's cool because you get to hear it. You got to touch like a couple times.
Yeah, I mean,
Not the whole song until the final battle, but otherwise, yeah.
I mean, the only other thing I could think of that I didn't like, but I'm sure we can all, as a collective whole in this universe, is the death of Optimus Prime. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, it was good for the story.
I mean,
It was.
yeah.
It helped move the story along because now they have no hope. Like with Optimus, like in the first battle, like they were losing hope. Optimus came and everybody's like, "Let's fight on!" So I mean, that just shows you how important Optimus was to the Autobots.
Well, that's just that. I mean, as a kid, I mean, when I look back on this, and we've talked about this a little bit with the Shocktoberfest, Halloween cartoon specials, you have to have that childlike innocence. Even when as a child, when you first hear Optimus Prime say, "Megatron must be stopped no matter the cost," you think that he's going to win no matter what.
Yeah.
Because as
one
a
will
kid,
rise and one will fall.
And as you get older, you start watching that scene a lot more in depth.
And you
And I mean, it's very foreboding. And
you understand now what he's saying.
I would love to see anybody our age or older look us dead in the eyes and say, the death of Optimus Prime does not give them the pit in their heart.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, even for me to this day, even watching reruns of like Henry Blake and MASH about his plane crashing in the Sea of Japan, no survivors, that still gets me. That gets my dad too. It's like, it's just moments like that.
We're men, but we have feelings and we know how to express them. We're also, two of us are single. I mean, so hey, how you guys doing?
Well, actually, as we're talking about something that I wish that was in the movie, would be where was Metroplex and Triptychon? I mean, these two huge.
There you go.
I did not even think about that until you brought it up. I mean, I think you brought it up the other day when we were talking about this, but it slipped my mind. But yeah.
So yeah, there you go. There's plot holes, guys. Not a perfect movie, but a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a good one. It's good.
Yes.
So anyway, you guys what would you guys give this movie then?
Oh, I'd give it an A.
An A, I'll take that. What are you thinking, Wild Man?
I'll give it a solid A. I really
You know
will.
what? Let's make it unanimous. A's all around.
A's all
Only
around?
because there's a couple little plot holes that we can overlook, and the death of Optimus Prime really messes with your head and heart at the same time.
But no matter what, it will always be better than most of the live-action films.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We're living in that society of mediocrity where we want to take all of the cartoons of yesteryear and make them live action, and some are okay to an extent.
Some are better, and then
Yeah.
some are just god awful.
Yeah.
And if you'd like us to do a detailed list on these, we shall.
Oh,
we
yeah.
need you down below to say, hey, do a list.
Yes.
Until then, we might not waste our time.
Exactly.
But anyway, I think we've said all we need to say about this movie.
Yeah, I think so too.
We've given it an awesome rating, awesome soundtrack, awesome voice characters, actors, all that good stuff. Really is a good movie, guys. Go check it out. And as always, leave us a little like if you liked the video. Comment down if you thought maybe we should have ranked it higher, or if we should have ranked it lower. And of course, guys,
push the
that
red button. Because
So-
more subscribers means more content. And like we've said before, we want to give you more content because we appreciate all of the support you have given us since we started. And we want to keep going. Because we love you. Always have.
So,
yeah.
anyway, guys, I am your big bad wolf, Benny.
I'm Wildman Wes.
I'm DJC.
And we'll see you next time at the movies.
Take care.
Transformers!